A simple rejection from anybody affects me completely. How to overcome this and what causes this disappointment? A simple rejection from anybody affects me completely. Rejection might be simple, but do you keep it simple? Do you allow it to remain simple? Do you know what simple means? Simple means direct. Simple means it is what it is. I do not add anything to it. I do not distort it. I do not take away anything from it. Rejection is rejection. But for you, is it merely rejection? You make it a part of your self-assessment. It all pertains to the question, who am I? When there is not clarity on that question, then that question clamors to be answered, and it gets answered in very confused ways, in very distorted ways. Who am I? The one who will be accepted by others. Who am I? One among the others. Are you getting it? Whenever your own self-worth will be dependent on others and hence limited, you will be constantly eager to get approval. When you want approval and you get rejection, it has a bearing on your very sense of being. Others have not rejected something about you. Others have rejected me. Others have rejected me and caused me to diminish. In some sense, it is a fear of disappearance. Because all that I am depends so much on others' approval, so point will come, the point is fast coming, when others, if they keep rejecting me, may even cause me to disappear. Because who am I? The one who exists as per the others. The one who lives when approved by others. I exist when others approve me. So what will happen to me if approval changes into rejection? I will cease to exist. I am gone. Where am I? You getting it? And remember, it is not about having a low or high self-esteem. It is not about having a small or large self-worth. Small or large are merely numbers. Low or high are again merely numbers. Every number has a limit. What you call as small may be large for somebody else. Every number is fundamentally the same. What is it? A limit. Every number is fundamentally just a limit. Whenever you will quantify yourself, whenever you will make yourself prone to measurement, the result will be this. The result will be this. Are you getting this? Anybody who is not deeply spiritual will always be a social slave. That is his punishment. People will ask you often, what do you get by reading all this? Why do you go on Sundays? What is the point? This is the point. Freedom is my nature. I don't want to live and die a slave. Do you understand slavery? Imagine this. You are standing and someone comes and says, wow, Kalika, nice. and 3 inches get added to your height. Another one comes and says, wonderful, you have done it. Most beautiful, most accomplished. 10 kilograms get added. And then comes someone else and says, this one, scum of the earth, rubbish of existence, dirt, filth. And even as he is saying this, you are withering down. Like, trees and bark, they fall down from a tree. So he's saying this and things are just falling all over the place from you. You're collapsing. Like a sand castle collapses from the top. And this is inevitable if you are not deeply spiritual. Some people have large castles, but it doesn't matter. You see, a loaf of bread may cost rupees 10 in India, and it may cost, do we have our Japanese brother here?
Yes.
How many yen in Japan would a loaf of bread cost? 250 yen. So it is 10 in India and 250 in Japan, 25 times. Does it matter? Both are mere numbers, both are mere measurements, limits. So you may have a high self-esteem or you may have a low self-esteem. High and low are what? Just quantities, numbers. 10, 250, just the frame of reference varies. 10 is the same as 250. 10 is the same as 10 million. In front of infinity, are 10 and 10 million different? Faced with the infinite, are 10 and a trillion different? Are they? So, the infinite has to be there. Whatever is finite will be diminished. Whatever is finite will be prone to the ups and downs, whims and fancies, vicissitudes of time. Time will inflate it, time will deflate it. Unless the infinite is there, even the biggest cannot help you. The biggest in your world, the biggest, it would just be a number. Remember, no number means anything in front of infinity. No number. Because every number, howsoever large it is, can ultimately be contained in the mind, in the teacup. So that's the worth of the biggest number you can think of. How big is the biggest number that you can think of? Smaller than the teacup. That is the biggest number that you can think of. And then there is swelling ocean in front of you. So that is the comparison. Can there be a comparison?
No.
Can there be a comparison? Your biggest number is smaller than the teacup. And here you have the waving ocean. Unless you are connected to that ocean, and so deeply connected that you are that ocean, there can be no respite for you. You will keep suffering. Put it the other way, anybody who is suffering is bound to not to be spiritual. You find a man suffering and it is for certain that he is not connected to the ocean. That is why somebody has said that suffering is sin. Because suffering implies that you are some kind of a heretic. God is absent from your life. Otherwise, how can you suffer? You'll have to start with just mentally remembering what you are not. See, all our thoughts about ourselves are thoughts of limits, are thoughts of our smallness. What we call as very dear to ourselves is exactly what keeps us small and chained. Till the time my welfare depends on my efforts, my welfare would always be suspect, because my efforts are limited and my welfare depends on my efforts. So you will be under tension. The mind would always be under a cloud, because my welfare depends on me and I am limited. So how can I relax? How can I relax? But that is our identity. That is our training. That my well-being depends on me. And who am I? Problem. To daughters I say, till the time you keep thinking that you are the daughter of your father, there will be problem. Because, father is limited and family is limited and the resources of the family are limited. Their ability to help you is limited. So till the time you are your father's daughter, there is a problem. You must be the daughter of existence. You want to call it God, call it that. It was not without reason that Kabir or other saints, they would refer to themselves as the beloved of the Supreme. They would say that their lover is nobody but God. In fact, they were categorical that there can be no other lover. Because if I am the wife of a man, then I am inviting suffering. Because the man is limited. And if the man is the one who is going to be responsible for my well-being, for my security, then there is a problem. Because the man is himself not secure. The man can't take care of himself. How will he take care of me? So that is the reason I have to be the wife of God. Nobody other than God can suffice. And that is the reason why we suffer. Because we have related ourselves to all the dwarfs and pygmies around us. You are in a building. And the building is constantly under attack. And the guard, the watchman that you have appointed, is a 250-year-old half-dead man who uses his gun like a walking stick. Now how relaxed can you be? How relaxed will you feel? That is our situation. Husband dear will take care of me. Now husband dear can't walk on his two legs. He requires a third one. That's his situation. The walking stick, I mean. With this kind of a three-legged animal, how will you feel secure? Let God be your sentry. Only then. But there is a deep problem, How can I be the daughter of God? No. Because if I am the daughter of God, then the entire world has to be my family. Problem. How can I share my bread with the neighbor, With even the cats and dogs. How can I feel one with them? No, they are enemies. Do you see the problem? With God as the Father, existence has to be the family. And godliness has to be the religion. But you have to be a Hindu. Godliness can't be your religion. It's a problem. If God is the husband, then I can't only have 2 kids. Then all the kids in the world are my kids. Now that is immense responsibility. Who wants to take that? Let me enjoy the comfort of having just Chunnu and Munnu. So long as you are simply the mother of Chunnu and Munnu, you are inviting suffering for yourself and for Chunnu and Munnu as well. All the Chunnus and Munnus are suffering because their mothers are not the wives of God. Anything less than the infinite will not suffice. Please know this very clearly. And the infinite is not a part of your worldliness. The infinite is another dimension. You may call it spiritual. I am repeating, unless there is a spiritual core to your living, you will continue to suffer. It was not without reason that Jesus said that I am the Son of God. It is not without reason that the Ved will tell you that you are the son of the immortal. It was not without reason that Ramakrishna would call Kali as his mother. Unless Kali is your mother, unless you are the son of God, it is impossible for you to relax. But one cannot have 2 fathers. So there is a choice involved. Till the time you are holding on to miscellaneous husbands and fathers, you will not reach that one father. You cannot have a primary father and a secondary father. The devotion has to be complete in the one father. No miscellaneous entities allowed. Who are you? I don't know you. We have quoted this one earlier as well, right? Kabira rekh sindoor ki, kajal kiya na jaye, tan mein man mein pritam basa, दूजा कहाँ समाए. There is no room for a second husband. How can I be infidel to him? With one husband, how can I look at the other one? There is no space for you. Get out. दूजा कहाँ समाए? तन में मन में प्रीतम बसा. दूजा कहाँ समाए? There is no space for you. And there is no comparison. Look at him and look at you. A wonderful garage made for the finest car, and you are trying to park your rusty old bicycle in it? Can that be allowed? Can that be allowed? How would that be? A wonderful throne made for the king, and some third-class swindler, thug, is trying to go and sit on that throne. Can that be allowed? Can that be allowed? The throne has to be reserved only for the king, the father, the husband. Nobody else must be allowed to go there. And then you can be in peace. The empire is in safe hands. Great empire, great throne. But who is sitting on the throne? That debauched male that you call as husband. Now what will happen to the empire? That empire is your universe. No wonder it is in shambles. Mero to Giridhar Gopal, dusro na koi. You have to come to this. Nobody else but him. And then who can diminish you? Then who can make you feel small? Mrs. God, beat that. Beat that.